for our European friends. And I hope I'm wrong about that. Hello, everyone, up to and including our European friends, should they happen to be here. And I'm suddenly remembering why I had the chat smaller, because now it's cutting off Josh's face.
The wrong way.
Welcome back to... That'll work, right?
Yeah, just dead center.
I'm considering it, but that seems stupid. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Anaï, how's it going?
You're like, I'll cover my face.
Cover my face.
Yeah, you can just scoot closer to me.
Friendship. Fuck. Welcome back to Caffeinated Conquests, V20 Chronicle, The Gilded Cage, which, you know, I realize I purposely never name any of my chronicles anything by night, because I feel like I'm ripping off Vampire the Masquerade source books.
Yeah.
And I ripped off a completely different source book thinking I was original. So I am a hack, I am a fraud, and if you want to be here to watch this hack fraud run some vampire, well, you're in the right place. We are playing some old school classic V20. It is my particular favorite version of the game. It is their particular favorite, I think, but let me speak for anybody. Let's do it.
Oh, Tom, Anaï's making midnight meatloaf.
Oh, Midnight Meatloaf, dope.
Man, have fun doing that.
All right, so tonight I got Josh, I got Tom. Sheriff Snorlax is otherwise engaged. Luckily, he was off, I don't want to say side questing, because it's not, but he was off doing his own thing. So, unlike in Rise Chapter 2, I can actually run this game without a significant temporal problem. So, previously on The Gilded Cage, he says, as he opens up his notes, which have gotten moved off of his bookmarks bar. That's a problem, and he's going to have to fix that.
All right, Josh, you come up with a summary. Just make it
With a summary?
Yeah.
Basically, we were introduced to our vampires. We went to Elysium. We met some of the political movers and shakers, and I decided to go pick up weapons and potentially thin out the Thin Bloods. I'm not sure what Tom was up to.
I asked you to make it up.
No.
I asked you to just lie to everyone, basically.
Well, Josh, what was Tom up to?
Shenanigans. La Sombra shenanigans. I'm not sure how you say that in Spanish.
I'm pretty sure shenanigans isn't that. 8.
Alright, so previously on The Gilded Cage, you have been in the city of St. Louis for, well, it's up to you really, a couple weeks, couple of months. The political situation is still fairly new, it's still fairly developing. Because you see, there was a massive sect war between the Camarilla and the Sabbat, and it got so bad, and there were so many Masquerade breaches, that the Society of Leopold just came in and washed the whole fucking place. And essentially, St. Louis is a domain rebuilding itself from the ashes. Is it Camarilla? Is it Anarch? Is it Sabbat? Is it something else entirely?
It's going to be Autarchus.
That's what's going to be determined now by this chronicle. There are a number of vampires vying for the top spot to claim the domain as their own, but none of them really have enough backing in order to do it. And that is the tenuous situation that you emerge on, because the first one to break, the first one to unify, is going to be the one to claim it. And really, it's sitting on a powder keg at the moment. So previously, you two were brought into the club by Sarah Littlebird. And Sarah gave you the rundown of the different political figures. And she told you about this one person named Preston. Does he have a last name? Did I give him a last name?
Lacey.
That, I feel like that's taken?
It is.
I mean, yes, I'm making a joke. I did not. So, oh wait, no, I did.
You could just make Preston Lacey a vampire.
You could just lie.
That's a little too World of Darkness for me. Oh, you know what? I wrote it down
In your notebook?
I wrote it down in session 1, but I didn't update the actual NPC listing with it. Preston Carter. Preston Carter is one of the potential barons of St. Louis, and he's very popular with the younger firebrand anarchs, the leather and Molotov style who just want to burn shit down and think that they can claim the ashes. Sarah didn't seem convinced. As you know, Sarah is more in favor of an anarch council than a single leader, because single leaders, to her, are inevitably corrupt. And this guy might be one of the worst. He's incredibly violent, and he basically thinks that the only way to ensure any kind of order in a society of monsters is for the biggest monsters to win. You approached Preston, and you spoke to him for a while. And Preston seemed rather impressed with you. He invited you to a, shall we say, after party at 1 a.m. and he gave you an address. And if you were to punch that into your cell phone, that address leads to a warehouse in what do they call it? Industrial park. There we go. Now, while this was happening, Jeremiah Faulkner, you did a little bit of people watching. And you noticed the Tremere Regent, whose name I also did not update her NPC listing with either. God damn, why am I so bad at this? I've been doing this for too many years.
It's because you're using a computer instead of your notepad.
That is true, but like at the same time, the notebook is that gets out of whack really fast.
Need perhaps a series of index cards.
Oh man, I would maybe actually. There are DMs that do that. The Tremere Regent Victoria Cameron, you saw her sort of looking down at one of the big Camarilla players and talking to a subordinate who I believe you are familiar with, Yui Matsuda.
I don't think I'm familiar with her now.
Okay, well I think she's listed as your
Antagonist.
Yeah. And they made some sort of allusions about a friend, and not necessarily being concerned who wins, but most of the conversation was lost in the tangle and the press of bodies and the crush of the packed house at Europe that night, who had come listening to the soulful stylings of DJ Pauly D. You decided you needed a Nosferatu. And you canvassed, you found out about 3 of them, and the one that you decided you wanted to approach was called Squid. And you were given an address where Squid would be at 1 a.m. And if you punch it into your phone, you will find that it is a warehouse in an industrial park.
Bolden, you can assume I have a phone.
If you were to punch it into the phone book, if you were to ask around town. So that is where I would like to begin tonight's session. It's still the same night. I would like each of you to roll a d10 for me, and you're not making a check. I'm just looking for a high roll. Do you have dice, Tom?
Yeah.
Oh, you got a phone. Okay.
Does Squid happen to wear a shark helmet, and did they used to be into extreme sports when they were still mortal?
No, they just really like Splatoon. I actually don't. Oh, is that a Rocket Power reference?
Yes.
Son of a bitch. I have not watched enough Rocket Power to... I didn't do that on purpose. I came with that on my ass.
That show was ugly.
Yeah, 90s cartoons, some of them are hard to look at. I got a 2.
I got a 3.
They're talking about the nomenclature of Shepherd's Pie.
Alright, so with your 3, you were actually the first to arrive, which makes sense as you went back to your haven to go gather your arsenal. Now, one more time, just so we're on the same page, what exactly did you pick up?
I believe I said an assault rifle. I'm probably usually packing some kind of like high caliber handgun, like in my jacket, and
Pretty sure you got a couple Claymore mines.
yeah, a couple of explosives
A couple of claymores.
and a rocket launcher. No. So I know it says I pretty much have everything in my armory at 4 dots, up to, but not including very high grade military hardware. I'm not asking for a rocket launcher right now, but does a rocket launcher fit into 4 dots? Is my question.
You can probably get an RPG. Those are relatively easy to get.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah.
a grenade launcher.
I'm assuming somebody
No,
was based on...
Oh, an actual.
An RPG is the shoulder-mounted usually anti-air
Oh, okay.
rocket.
This is also Missouri, which is almost as easy to get weapons in as Texas.
Well, I'm assuming
Yeah.
somebody based off of Copperhead Road has at least an RPG in the last 30 years. So yeah, not a problem. You absolutely do have an RPG just banging around somewhere. You probably don't even know where it is. It's in a closet somewhere. Jeremiah, you arrive first. And could I please get...
Oh, okay, that's exactly what I was thinking of.
Could I please get... Let's go with perception empathy, I think.
I'm good with that. Now, let's see if my rolls are good with that. Actually, yes. What's the diff?
Standard 6.
Okay, then that's 3 successes.
Okay.
Number of the beast?
So you arrive at this...
666.
3 successes?
Did you not get through 6s?
No.
Oh. My bad.
So you arrive at this industrial park, and you can see that it's sort of run down, and there's like rust-colored water stains coming down the walls of the different warehouses from where the sprinkler system was tested. There's some peeling paint and cracked concrete running down the sidewalks. For all intents and purposes, there are still some trucks in some of the parking lots, so it is in current use, at least the park is, if not each individual warehouse. There's a steady chirp of crickets coming from the odd bush or a bit of scrub behind one of the fences. A cat looks in your direction and yowls as it leaps behind a fence. And you notice, with your perception empathy, there are cars in different parking lots. Not enough to draw attention to one. Deliberately so, you realize. This is a gathering, but it looks like a gathering that's trying to uphold the masquerade. They don't want it to be apparent that they're all gathering in one spot. But where you look at where the cars are parked, there's one central location, and that's the warehouse that you were given. And as you sort of come onto this warehouse, under this one sort of lonely yellow spotlight, near where the main entrance would be, there's like a shutting door, or a shutter door rather. And you see this young, maybe early 20s woman, somewhat bedraggled, hair askew, if we may, sort of leaning up against the wall, arms crossed. And she's sort of staring into the middle distance, looks like she's waiting. What would you like to do?
This person looks, or this person's next to the entrance.
Yes.
Do I recognize this person?
Do you have politics?
Why not?
Intelligent politics.
Go up and give them a cool handshake.
Hey, Daystra, how's it going, buddy? Adam is not here.
No.
You're just going to have to deal with the three of us.
What's the diff?
Standard 6.
I botched.
You botch. You have no earthly fucking idea who this person is.
They're probably a hunter. I should dispose of them just to be safe.
Could be somebody canvassing the joint. Or waiting for something to happen. Could be some kind of ambush. Could be... I don't know, but there's a whole lot of people here, and you only see one person outside the entrance. You take your botch, and you take that information, you do with it what you will.
I'm gonna get behind one of the parked cars and just observe. I don't know who this person is.
Okay.
I will continue the same behavior from Europe and just watch this probable werewolf.
Okay. So, I'm going to say you sort of crouch behind one of the few parked cars that are actually in that parking lot. 10, maybe 15 minutes goes past, and you start hearing the crunch of tires on gravel as these headlights sort of roll over the parking lot and pull in. You're in no danger of being seen. But they sort of go the long way around. They pull into the parking lot of this warehouse. Car shuts off, and these two figures get out. The woman at the entrance seems to recognize them. They greet each other fairly warmly, from what you can tell from their body language, and she rolls up the shutter, and as the shutter opens, you can hear this clamor of many, many voices, almost like a school assembly going on from inside the warehouse. And the two go in, she closes the shutter again, and she goes back to waiting.
Okay, so clearly now that's they're a bouncer of sort. But they still could be a werewolf. And just doesn't know it yet.
Are you old school enough that you consider them a janitor?
Consider them a what?
A janitor? Like a doorman is what a janitor used to be?
No, I don't believe so.
You're not that old?
I actually didn't know that either.
Okay, I know Squid is an anarch, right?
You know Squid is an anarch and a Nosferatu, yes.
And that's all I know about this place. Is that Squid was likely here and he's an anarch.
Sounds about right.
So the only thing I can extrapolate is that this is a gathering of either anarchs or Nosferatu. And Nosferatu do not gather like that.
Maybe not the cool ones.
Maybe think of a meme. I guess I will approach cautiously.
Approach cautiously, okay. But are you approaching stealthily, or you're approaching like in broad sight?
I like to think that I think I'm approaching in broadside, but I'm probably subconsciously sticking to shadows.
Okay.
What are the
So let me ask more directly. Do you want to do a stealth roll here, or?
I do, but I don't think my character realizes they're being stealthy.
Okay. Okay. There is a rule for that. I think it's like a passive roll or something. I haven't had to use that fucking rule
Well,
in
look
like
at the screen.
10 years. Oh, it's not on the back of this. So I tell you what. What's your dex stealth?
My dex stealth is 4 dice.
Do I have more dice than the Sombra?
I mean, in 1 or 2 stats, I'm sure you do.
I mean specifically being stealthy.
Well, good news. She botched. So she is. You can tell as you get closer that she's very clearly bored. She's not really expecting shit to go down. So when you start subconsciously creeping through the shadows,
Do you hit her with the Obi-Wan Kenobi hello there? Fucking necromancy takes so many pages.
No. Because it has like 12 fucking paths.
I just
And they're all the same.
It was fun getting to look through them as Marbzans after raiding the Giovanni mansion.
Just going through your new market book.
Yeah.
Which one do I want? After expecting her to react to my presence for like 30 seconds, I assume.
she's just sort of standing there doing one of these, and she's just.
I will tap her on.
Jesus, and she sort of like balls her hands into fists, and you can see that, like underneath her slight frame, she's actually got quite a bit of muscle, and she goes, "God, sorry, I'm not used to people sneaking up on me. Can I help you?"
Sneaking up on me. I came right from the parking lot.
Semantics. What do you want?
Is this where I can find Mr. Squid?
Squid? Yeah, he came in about half an hour ago. And she just, like, doesn't even care, doesn't try to vet you at all, just pulls open the door. How's your blood looking right now?
Red.
Oh, I should hope so.
I got a decent amount of blood.
Okay, what is it?
I got 6.
6 is all right. Okay. So when she opens the rolling shutter, like a wall, you are hit with the scent of not blood, vitae, vampire blood. This whole place reeks of it. And as you sort of look into the warehouse, you can see the whole warehouse has been gutted almost, minus the supports. And there is set up around the walls of this large cavernous room these sort of makeshift wooden bleachers that have been just cobbled together out of scrap wood. Sitting in the center of this ring of makeshift bleachers looks like this chain link cage, almost. The cage itself has been filled with sand, and the sand just has these ruddy brown streaks dragged all throughout it.
It's a fight club.
I was going to say it's that one music video by Nine Inch Nails. I think it's March of the Pigs, where they're playing in the big chain link fence in the middle of like a warehouse.
I swear to God, I've never seen Fight Club. Like everybody.
But you have seen Nine Inch Nails.
I'm still
music videos.
Oh yes,
I've never seen 9 Inch Nails in Fight Club.
I'm still embarrassed of the fact that I named a vampire Drusilla in Rise of the Free States. I didn't get the Buffy reference. It was one of the many names I yanked out of my ass, and it happened to align. And now everybody thinks I'm like a weeb, even though that's not a weeb thing. But you get what I mean.
Well, thank you, Miss
Jenna. Don't mention it.
Faulkner. Nice to meet you. Go in.
So I'm going to say maybe right around now is when you begin to roll up, and you're just coming in you actually have a vehicle, don't you?
Yeah. I have an old police Dodge, painted completely black. Probably still has like the guard, the bumper up front, kind of stuff.
Let's go the perception empathy for you.
I don't imagine you having any empathy.
I don't. I do have plenty of perception though. 2 successes.
2 successes. All right.
So I'm assuming I got a diff 6, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I got a.
That's 3.
I thought that was a 6. Yep.
So you also begin to put together the same way that Jeremiah did. You see car, 2 cars, a car, and then 2 fucking lengths down another car parked under a completely different lamppost. And you can kind of get the feeling, okay, there's a gathering here, but they're trying not to be obvious about it. And you roll up to the address to the warehouse that you were given, that Preston specifically told you to come to. What would you like to do?
Crash through the gate or the shutters.
No, I'm gonna park slightly away from everybody else.
So same parking lot, different parking lot, completely unmanned parking lot?
I'll say like the same parking lot, but right towards the entrance of wherever I'm coming in from.
Okay.
So like I'm assuming people are spread out, but they're probably mostly gravitating towards like the center of wherever the building is.
Right.
So I'm parking at the very edge of that.
All right, so you park at the very edge of that, and as your car rolls in, you can see the very haggard-looking woman at the entrance. She immediately takes notice of you in your car and watches as you walk out.
Okay. I was gonna try to drive up stealthily without being seen.
Do you want to do that?
Yeah, I was gonna have like the headlights off and try to slowly creep in.
Okay, I'm gonna make a deal with you. If you want to park in a different parking lot, diff 7. If you want to park in this one, diff 9.
I'll do it in a different parking lot then.
Okay.
You don't want to try to convince her to let your car in? Maybe tell her that your parents are dead?
That's a different character.
I missed that so much, Tom. When the hell are we going to play Double Cross again? Oh yeah, I have a Double Cross campaign that I was running. I forgot about that.
What do you want me to roll?
Deck Stealth.
Deck stealth?
Well, because drive
it's
is
a
also...
stealth drive,
yeah,
right?
Which is weird. So one of those has to be dexterity. It has to be dexterity. So unless I will...
It could be wits drive.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And diff 7?
Diff 7.
2 successes.
2 successes. All right. You keep your car to the back roads, whisking away through shadows and under broken street lights. No one sees you approach.
Okay, I'm going to park my car, and once it's securely locked, I'm basically going to pull a duffel bag full of explosives out of the trunk, and I am going to turn on my Protean Eyes of the Night.
Okay. Done deal. And then what?
I'm going to basically try to stealthily approach the warehouse, and my plan is to find the points where people would most likely be coming in and out, or anything that looks structurally weak, and start putting up claymores.
Interesting. Okay. I like this so much. So when you approach...
I will tell you my plan. My plan is to basically be like, if I
To
don't
blow the shit out of this
if I don't like what I see inside, I'm going to blow it up. But if I see you in there, I would wait for you to come out, considering I like you.
Okay.
Because this is the club hangout of might makes right people, right?
I'm not actually sure you know what it is. You were invited here by
You're
Preston
being a
himself.
terrorist.
Yeah. I met Preston. I'm like, I don't like what this guy's doing. He's advocating genocide. I get the Thin Bloods suck because they don't know what they're doing. My plan is to find the vampires responsible for doing that. But if I don't like what's going on here, my plan is to...
Okay. Super interesting stuff. I like it. So when you sort of get to the parking lot, and I will ask for a proper deck stealth at this point because you're on your feet.
Much better at this.
And I tell you what, we did notice that she wasn't expecting trouble or paying attention that well, so I'm going to give you a diff 4 on this one.
5 successes.
I got 1. So you are the knight, you are vengeance, you are Batman. So you see her, you see Jenna standing at the door, and there's a whole bunch of different rolling shutters that lead into the warehouse. There's like a front office and stuff. Logically speaking, she's standing at the most likely entrance.
Okay, yeah, I see her. I'm clearly avoiding her line of sight. I'm going around looking for like places where there are means of egress that if people are running out, they'd be running. I'm basically doing full military seer training kind of stuff, where I'm going around looking for weak points, setting up to try to make the building collapse, or ensure that a lot of people are coming out this way. They're going to run out this way, and then my plan is to set up two sets of detonations. One to start blowing up weak points in the building, and the second to blow up means of egress once people try coming out.
Yeah, so you're going to try and demolish the place, and then you're also going to take out the escape routes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, fire exits are clearly marked, so that's a given. What do you have in terms of, like, engineering?
Engineering? I do have science, chemistry, technology, electronics.
Let's go with... I kind of want to make you roll larceny, right? Because it's a similar train of thought of figuring out how to get in or out of a place.
Okay, you want intelligence larceny, wits larceny,
Let's
perception larceny?
go with intelligence larceny.
Okay.
That'll work just fine.
She's an awful lookout.
She really is. Like, okay, so the ethos of this place, right, is not... What if somebody bad comes? It's like, if somebody bad comes, we can handle it.
3 successes.
So they're not terribly scared of this. 3 successes. Okay.
They're not scared of domestic terrorists. Have you ever dealt with domestic terrorists? No, but I'm not scared of them.
You should be.
So I'm going to say this. There are 2 fire escapes, north side of the building, south side of the building, we'll say she's on the west. There's a row of loading docks that sort of lead out to the large parking lot where trucks would get filled. And then there's the shutter that she's herself standing at. Those are the most likely places where people would run to if shit went south.
Okay. Then each one of those is getting a nice little boop.
Okay, how are you? That's fine. Okay, I have several questions.
I am ready to think this through.
So...
You're using claymores, right?
Basically some kind of high-grade plastic explosive.
So first we have to figure out how many claymores you
C4.
have and how many...
C4 is the correct way.
Okay.
Claymore is the one that you put down, people come through, and it goes boom towards them.
Yeah,
Right.
That's the proximity based.
Yeah.
Or motion based, you should say. C4 is the extremely stable, yet you've got the blasting cap.
Yeah, you could absolutely pack enough C4 in a duffel bag to fuck this place up. Okay.
Enough. If you feel so dull out of C4, you're taking down an office building.
Yes, I'm aware, but I'm trying to figure out, the logistics of this match. So my next question would be, how are you going to booby trap the shutter that she's standing at?
Oh, my plan is like once I go into basically.
That's the kill cone.
Well, yeah.
Oh, where she's standing?
Yeah.
My plan is basically once she goes in, if she's not patting people down, I'm gonna quickly slap one on the door next to her.
Okay. All right. So you have rigged every other conceivable exit for this place to fucking blow, and then what?
And then I'm basically gonna make a mental note of they're there. I'm hooking them up to a detonator that has 2 switches on it, so people can't just bump up against me and have it go off. And then I'm gonna casually walk in the door, and be like, I'm here to see Preston.
Oh man, playing vampire with you guys is so much fun. You guys are evil geniuses, and I love it. So you walk up. Jenna looks up at you. Just one look up and oh yeah, Farmer Brown. Preston told me to be expecting you. Go on in. And then she rolls up the shutter again. How's your blood looking?
I rolled a 10, so I'm at a 9.
Okay, yeah, you're fine. But again, just overwhelming smell of vitae. Just hard. As you so you walk in as well, and you see the bleachers, you see the cage. Tom, as you go in, you can see that there's a point where the bleachers sort of separate along one side. And at this place, Preston has seated himself in almost like this position of honor. Like he's got this little tiny raised throne.
What?
And like sitting like on either side of him.
Are you like, I'm glad Josh brought the C4.
Sitting on either side of him are these very attractive young female ghouls, just sort of fawning over him as he looks around, and he's just making small talk with people that approach. What would you like to do at this point?
Well, I'm looking for a Nosferatu.
There's a few.
They're in the middle of the dance club doing the Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines dance.
You mean wildly flailing your arms?
Yep.
There's more than a couple Nosferatu in attendance tonight.
You're looking for the one with the shark helmet.
I'm looking for the one who would likely be called Squid. Which one has tentacles?
None that you can see.
Is he actually wearing a squid beanie?
No.
Well, then I'll start.
Blix, how's it going? Mazzy says, this is awesome. Which part? Josh rigging the place to blow? Because I'm kind of into it too. I can't wait to see where this goes. There was a time, right, when this would have mortified me as a storyteller. Now I'm like, hell yeah, let's do it. Fucking chaos, balls to the wall, I'm ready. This is the meat, the succulent meat of stories. Yeah, the rigging is cool.
We have forged you in the fires of explosives.
I was baptized in the flames of Murphy Fierro.
Well, I'm gonna start asking around for Mr. Squid.
Okay. I'm not going to make it too difficult, but Nosferatu also aren't terribly social. Who do you ask specifically?
Honestly, whoever's closest to me.
Okay, let's go with a charisma streetwise, please. And I'm just going to call this one a diff 4.
I do not have streetwise. I do have charisma. I do have charisma. You said diff 4, right?
Diff 4.
Okay, I got no successes.
No successes. Okay. So you...
No, fuck off, Mark.
It's kind of... You don't really get the most polite reaction as you go around. You're sort of interrupting conversations here or there.
Just absolutely no social awareness.
Yeah, people are just like really hyped up for the fight and like, excuse me, do you know where this fucking Nosferatu is? I don't know what fucking Nosferatu is. So you get a whole bunch of nothing. You come in and you see much the same thing. There's the cage in the center, and it looks like there's been a couple of like implements or weapons strewn out about the cage. There's a bloodied baseball bat. There's a bloodied chain. There's a bloodied length of rebar, and there's a bloodied sewer lid And if you were to ask me if that is a reference to Vitez, I would say yes. And then you also see the point where the bleachers sort of pull apart, and you see Preston there sitting on his chair and just talking emphatically with whatever sycophant decides to approach. It does not seem that he has noticed you yet.
I'm just kind of looking around for the general vibe of the place right now. I see clearly there's some kind of fight club going on in the middle, but just kind of like walking around the back, what kind of stuff are people talking about?
Ooh.
Or is it all fight night kind of talk?
There's gonna be a whole lot. I'm not gonna make you roll for this, because you're just catching snatches of conversation. There's nothing of like a high political value here. It's a lot of like hype for the fight. It's a lot of, I wonder what the prize is going to be. Knowing Preston, it's always a good one. There's a lot of, the thin bloods are coming in and taking our gerbs sort of stuff. A lot of the same rhetoric that you heard from Preston. And then there's some people just talking about, I ducked in to see my family, and my cat got scared of me, and my family didn't know I was there, and I had to hide, and just random life shit. And there's another guy, my Huivn mate is a real dickhead, and keeps leaving dead people around, stuff like that. Just nothing of a really high political nature. Just a lot of excitement about the fight. A lot of the same political opinions that you heard Preston echo, and just normal life stuff.
Then I'm going to make my way over to Preston.
All right.
Do I see him at any point?
Tom, what do you think is the most fun?
I'd probably stand out.
Okay.
I'm not dressed like a punk.
Then yes, you see what appears to be an argument brewing between three very rough-necked looking anarchs and this fine gentleman here.
What are you dressed like?
I describe myself in similar garb as Christian Bale from Equilibrium.
Oh, okay, I remember you saying that.
So like so it's like a mix of like black, like Occidental and Oriental monk robes.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely probably an eyebrow-raising moment seeing him here, as I'll kind of step in.
I thought you were different.
And I'll be like, didn't expect to see you here.
Oh. I can't say the same for you.
Yeah, I can't quite say this is my crowd either, but what are you doing here?
You wouldn't happen to know a man who goes by the moniker of Squid, would you?
Do I know Squid?
You would not know Squid, no. Unless you can somehow convince me that you know Squid. No.
Or you can just convince me that you know Squid. You can always just lie.
And like a quick scan of the room, do I see anybody who looks like a squid?
No. It's a Nosferatu moniker. Like he doesn't actually have like suckers.
Oh, I know he doesn't look like a squid, but is looking around, I'm like, that guy looks like he's a squid kind of thing.
Like I said, there's several Nosferatu in the town.
You're a squid, aren't you? Huh?
Theoretically be any one of them.
As he asked me that, I'm going to go up to one of the Nosferatu and ask where Squid is.
So there's a couple Nosferatu you could go to. There's sort of a hulking, muscular-looking one with this receding jaw going back to his ears and these exposed teeth. There is a woman who looks almost like a Cenobite, completely bald and the flesh flayed from her face. There is a man sort of just huddled in rags in the back corner. You can't really see his face, but you do occasionally get these flashes of like this deep golden yellow from deep within the shadows of the hood. Which of the three do you want to approach?
I'll go up to the hooded guy and be like, Squid around?
Squid. I can't say too many people ask for him. What's your business?
I don't know.
I'm asking for a friend who needs a man found.
He sort of gestures down the bleachers to the southwest. The skinny guy looks like he's about to pee himself.
I'll go up and be like, there's a skinny fellow over there who looks like he's about to pee himself that squid.
Oddly specific description, but thank you.
I aim to be of service.
I'm sure you do. I guess I will go to Mr. Squid.
All right, so you sort of put two and two together as you follow the pointing and the description, and there is a very, very scrawny-looking Nosferatu. He's wearing a red Che Guevara T-shirt, and he's clutching a laptop to his chest.
He's his ass, Tom.
He's not really like talking to anybody.
Edgy.
Very sunken eyes, very not quite pockmarked. His face almost looks like the surface of the moon. There's these wide craters and divots that sort of sink into his face.
Gross.
And he just has this thin, wispy, almost excuse for a mohawk dangling down one side. And he just clutches his laptop tightly, and he sort of like taps it anxiously as he just looks around, and he seems like he's waiting for the fight to begin.
Could I spend a fabula point, Chaz, in order to officially give him the squid helmet from
No.
from Rocket Powered?
No, but I love your enthusiasm for Fabula Ultima. It's a fantastic game. I want to stream it so bad.
I will sit down next to Mr. Squid.
As you do so, you can see he sort of like he's looking in your direction kind of frightfully, and he's like scooting over a little bit, but he's also afraid of intruding on the personal space of the person next to him.
Do you scoot closer to him?
I just lean against him. No.
The awkward airplane bus moment.
Sorry, it's so late. It's way past my bedtime. So how'd you get that name, Mr. Squid?
I'm sorry. Do I know you?
No.
It's kind of a long story. I guess I look like a tentacle or something. Look, is there something I can do for you?
How do you look like?
He's got circles.
I don't believe you look like a tentacle at all, Mr. Squid.
That's kind of you. I'm not really good in social situations. If you'll excuse me, and he begins to like try to leave.
What has you in such a hurry? Am I making you uncomfortable?
To go through the embrace and still have social anxiety.
No offense. I mean that. No offense. I just I don't do well with other people, you know, and this doesn't exactly make it easier. Are you looking for me for something?
I am.
Okay, look, I don't want trouble.
Well, neither do I. But quite frankly, the company you keep around seems to like trouble.
Well, it's not like that. They're not bad people. They're just fighting for their rights.
A noble cause, no doubt.
Yeah, of course, I agree. So, you know, I want to help them. You know, not everybody in a revolution's a warrior. You know, there's...
That's respectable. Information is a very important commodity in a war.
I get the feeling like you're trying to butter me up.
Tell me you haven't had butter since the embrace.
I haven't had the sweet succulence of butter in many a year. It's quite hurtful for you to say something like that.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. Look, I really should be going, unless...
You seemed quite comfortable before I arrived. Why are you in such a hurry? Are you meeting somebody?
Look, is there something that I can do for you?
I'm sure there is.
Tom? Wits perception.
Wits perception. Diff?
8.
He has the mortal wound flaw, Tom. He's about to, he still has asthma, and you're about to give him an asthma attack.
I only got one success then.
Okay, so you're looking at Squid and you see this terror just growing on his face, and he just vanishes.
Okay, well, so or I always forget this. Are other clan disciplines known?
It's kind of up to you. I mean, you would probably know that that's an ability that vampires have.
Obfuscate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, not every vampire is going to use the same terminology for it, but it would be known that there are some vampires that can do that, or they can turn invisible, or however you believe it to work. You would know that that is a thing that is extant.
Well, being Lasandra, I'm used to it.
You have to do the woogity woogity woog thing to earn his trust.
Just go grab for where his mohawk was. Tommy gave the Nosferatu a panic attack.
He actually starts having a fucking like anxiety attack, causing him to breathe.
I can't feel my heart.
I found the thin blood. I will reach quickly for where he was on the shoulder and say, Mr. Squid, please. We all need friends here.
All right. Yes. So give me a. I'll give you a choice of Dex melee or Dex brawl. I know you're not actually trying to hit him, but you're trying to make contact.
Okay.
He's not going to try to dodge you, so I'm just gonna.
Diff?
7.
Oh, damn. That's only 3 successes opposed to
3
4.
successes. Okay, so you reach into the ether and you just tap him on the shoulder and like sit him down next to you.
You didn't take gun kata?
No.
Is gun kata, is that firearms or is that brawl? Or is that melee?
That's a good question.
Gun kata? I believe that
He
would.
said he looks like Christian Bale in Equilibrium, or he's dressed like him.
I would say gun kata would be a firearm specialty. So.
I also have those reloading little things.
No.
So what do you say?
I'm saying, Mr. Squid, please. We all need friends here.
And so he doesn't even look at you. He stares into the distance and he starts doing that like a distressed cat. And there's a puddle of blood slowly like spreading out from underneath his seat.
There's nothing to be afraid of. I'm not your enemy.
How do I know that? You know who I am. You won't let me go. What do you want from me?
Well, I don't know who you are. I don't know anything about you other than your name. Why don't you tell me about yourself?
What do you want?
I want to be your friend.
Why would you want to be my friend?
Why are you apprehensive to the idea?
Everybody wants to be the Nosferatu's friend when they need something. Then when they don't need something, guess who's the first one to go? Last hired, first fired, right?
Oh, trust me, I'm well aware of one's clan being one count. If you do not understand, I'm one of the last of my kind in the city.
And as you say that, it sort of like intrigues him a little bit. Wait, what do you mean?
I was not originally of the 2 major factions in the city.
2 major factions? You mean Preston the Professor?
The Camarilla and the Anarch's son.
Really? No kidding. What's that like?
It's less
That's
interesting than you expect it to be.
That's a good point to take out the shovel and just hit him in the head with it.
Let me show
What's
you.
it like being a Sabbat?
Alright, so while he's working on rapport with Squid, you approach Preston?
Yes. Very casually, just kind of like
Son of a bitch.
Like the as I'm kind of looking at taking the place in.
Yeah. And he sort of pushes aside that hanger-on that he has and says, "Ah, there he is, there he is. I was hoping you'd come."
Well, what's on the docket tonight?
What do you think? We're here to celebrate. Celebrate, well, a lot of things, I suppose. Celebrate life, celebrate freedom, and most importantly of all, celebrate some justice being meted out, which I would like to ask, do you intend to participate tonight? And he sort of gestures to the duffel bag. No outside weapons. Have to keep
I didn't bring the duffel bag in with me after I put the...
Okay.
He put it under Preston's car.
I have a plan for the cars. But I was like, I prefer to spectate first.
If you want. The fries is quite primo tonight, but I suppose there will be others. And he says, speaking of which, and gestures to one of the intoxicated-looking female ghouls. And she gets up, and she sort of disappears behind the bleachers for a moment. So tell me, what can I do to make you more comfortable, my friend?
Oh, I'm plenty comfortable as it is. This is much more my scene than Europe.
Necessary evil, I suppose, but look at what it's done for us. The power of networking, am I right?
Yeah, it looks like you built yourself quite the abode here.
It's something to let the young ones blow off a little bit of steam. I think it's important. You have to be able to channel that rage that they feel into something positive, I think. Or at least let them feel like they're helping, I suppose. Until real change can be made, for now, this squalid little display is the best I can do.
You said something about justice.
Oh, of course.
I don't believe this guy would ever say the word squalor.
He would if he's self-important.
I don't think he knows what that means.
Justice, he found some of those fellas that were pumping out thin bloods.
And as you ask that ghoul that he sent back behind the bleachers comes out, and she's wheeling out this metal canister. Looks something like a small dumpster, right? That's on wheels and kind of creaks as she wheels it forward. Roughly about yay big, like the size of a freezer on wheels. And she wheels it towards the center cage. And you can see that the thing's got a padlock dangling from it. And Preston says, "Oh, don't you worry about that. I think you're going to like what you're about to see. In the meantime, make yourself comfortable. If there's anything I can do for you, don't hesitate." And you see the woman sort of unlock the cage, and she begins to wheel the small dumpster, for lack of a better term, up against one wall of the cage.
So I'm gonna kind of just wait and see what happens.
Okay, so are you just like taking a seat in the bleachers?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Back to Tom and Squid. So as you've sort of enticed him with this information, he has sort of forgotten his fear. He's absolutely pissed himself, and the blood is beginning to soak into your pants. But that seems to have flown his mind as you two are involved in your conversation.
Is there any specifics you'd like to know?
Oh, wow. About 100 different things, but I can't think to ask which one in particular.
Take your time, son.
So, they told me that guys like you were the original anarchs. That there was a time when you guys were really free, before the Camarilla. Was that true?
Well, as they taught us over there, yes. We are often told very often. We are very often told we were the first schism. So technically, yes, it was the first anarch movement. But as to be truly free, that's That is a highly debated subject.
What do you mean?
Well, you trade one king for one pontiff, essentially, or one prince for a pontiff.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Somebody's got to keep them in line, I guess. I mean, when you have no pontiff or no king, then what happens when people run wild?
That is true.
And in the middle of the conversation, somebody, clearly a vampire,
Oh, vampire!
comes up to you, another young woman, and says, "You in tonight?" She gestures to you and Squid. Oh, no.
Gun Carter.
I don't even own a gun.
Yeah. You want one?
You dealing? I am just merely a spectator.
Suit yourself. And she goes to the next people on the bleachers, and you can see that there are other people sort of working the crowd looking for volunteers, and there's a couple takers. The sort of crocodilian-looking Nosferatu is walking towards the cage. There's a very hulking-looking, muscle-bound figure. There is a very shaggy-looking figure in a trench coat, just this wild hair cascading down his back, matted and knotted, and doesn't look like he showered probably in a couple of years. All slowly sort of making their way to a door at the cage where somebody else sort of pats them down looking for weapons and then lets them in.
What is the spectacle that is scheduled for tonight?
Oh, it's one of Preston's fight clubs. This is kind of, what happens when he... What's the words I'm looking for? When he thinks he's got a particularly good prize. Helps the, the more, shall we say, martially adept blow off some steam, at least until he can exercise some real power in the domain.
I would say how barbaric, yet this is a tradition that's been going on for millennia now.
I don't know about that. Preston's only been in the domain a couple of months.
I meant the spectacle of watching blood spill.
Oh, they don't fight to the death. Don't worry. Those guys will walk away. It's just fun for them. Now, depending on how good or bad people they are, they might be up for a while, because they're going to torpor, believe me. But they'll walk away eventually.
Maybe for the better, maybe for the worse. Now, Mr. Squid.
Senor Squid?
Monsieur Squid.
Monsieur Squid.
Squid. Oui. Oui. I hope this is not unbecoming, but I do wish to request for your assistance.
Here we go.
I only wish to know some information.
Well, so does everybody.
I believe I shared some information that was gnawing at you, so it is only fair to know.
Yeah, well, you do seem like one of the few people who can talk to me for 5 minutes without puking. Especially after sort of tugs his pant legs. Sorry about that.
Think not of it.
You kind of get the feeling like maybe this guy's like desperate for a friend. As he goes, all right, well, what do you need?
What do I don't remember? I know I was trying to figure out what the Tremere
Victoria Cameron. Yeah, you wanted information on her, but I don't remember specifically what.
I think it was who they were referring to, her friend.
Okay.
But I'm just gonna word it. I'm looking for some information on I'm Miss Victoria, what was her name?
Cameron.
Miss Cameron. Miss Victoria Cameron.
Good luck. The Tremere are almost as tight-lipped as we are. I don't know, maybe I can help you out. What do you need to know? I can grapevine or something.
I just wish to know who her close associates are.
Oh,
Oh?
I shouldn't tell you that.
And pray tell why not?
And he starts looking nervous, and he's like, okay, listen. You know how, even being the way we are, there are some lines that you don't cross? This is one of those lines. Hi, am I in the other room?
The line of associates should not be crossed.
No, it's not. It's not just that. Look,
Then help me understand.
Call him champ.
if I were to tell you the information that you seek, I would be, what's the word I'm looking for here? I would be doing a disservice to people who look out for me. And they would no longer want to look out for me. And that is one of the few taboos that I will not break, because they are the only family that I have.
Do you speak of the rest of the Nosferatu in your...
I'm not speaking of nothing. This conversation never happened. If there's anything else you want to know, maybe I can help, but this, no.
Dominate.
They do have dominate. That is my specialty.
Also, you're Gen 8, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you could fucking wall up this guy if you wanted to. Is that Aragorn in our living room? No, that's Josh. He does look very regal and princely.
Thank you.
That's bold and brash.
Oh yeah, that's bold and brash.
I can't tell what she's referring to unless she's talking about Darth Vader back here. Oh! She's no, that's fuck. What's his? I can't remember his name.
The Gangrel, isn't it?
No, that's the Zamisi. Shit, he signed my fucking book. It was the old storyteller, Martin Erickson.
I was about to it's right here. No.
Yeah. That is Martin Erickson, the iconic Zamisi of V20.
Mr. Squid.
Squiddy.
As you mentioned, or as you asked me, what is your definition of true freedom?
I don't know if true freedom exists the way we are, but...
Do you believe that you are a master of your own? Or are you chained to some predetermined fate? That every choice that you have made has been predetermined by a greater force? Or maybe it was orchestrated by someone higher up?
No, it's us, man. It's us. It's the only way it should be, and if it's not, then that's the kind of system we need to tear down.
And how do you intend to do that? What is your plan, or are you merely following what another one's... are you parroting someone else's beliefs?
By helping, of course. Like I said, not everyone in a revolution is a warrior. You know, there are support roles, there's information roles, there's scouts, there's all...
And I'm not questioning that. But how much of this dogma do you truly believe in?
I believe that we have the right to live free, and I think Preston's our best chance of getting it done. If you got another way, I'm all ears. But right now, that's the guy with the plan.
I don't know Preston well enough to throw shade, unfortunately. I know someone who knows somebody who knows enough to throw shade. But unfortunately, he's talking to Preston right now.
I think I'm in the bleachers at this point.
All right.
You can actually. Where would you like to sit? You can come sit by Tom if you want.
I'll probably sit nearby, but not right next to him. He seems like he's having an important conversation.
Do you want to sit close enough to hear?
No, I think he could tell that I'm listening, and I'll be at a respectable distance.
All right.
I just wanted to like him.
Well, you're probably the only person I like in this building right now. I'm about to have to do the whole, like, hey, you want to come grab a cigarette real quick?
Don't come to school tomorrow. I think my favorite version of that was when everyone was stuck at home from COVID and someone sent a picture of a Nintendo Zapper that says, don't log into school tomorrow.
That's fine.
So your belief is in a man who wishes to burn everything down first. Not to rekindle, but to destroy.
Look, you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs. Yeah, we're going to have to tear the system down, but that doesn't mean we don't build a new one in its place.
What if there's nothing left to build?
What else is there? What?
There is a system in place already. A flawed one. But there is one.
You talking about the cam?
No, I'm talking about the Masquerade. The Camarilla, unfortunately, right now, the best of holders of the Masquerade, though.
I mean, yeah, but here's the thing. The Camarilla is a flawed system. It's a flawed system that doesn't change. The people at the top make damn sure it doesn't change because it suits them. It suits the status quo. The Camarilla can't be fixed. It can only be dismantled and rebuilt. That's the problem.
Dismantled. Not destroyed.
I feel like we're splitting hairs here.
There's a world of difference between dismantling something and destroying it.
Then what do you suggest? Because you're honestly speaking pretty weird for somebody that got invited here.
Oh, I was not invited.
Bailey's right here, sleeping in her bed. I don't get me.
Remember, you're talking to somebody wearing a Che Guevara shirt.
True. At least he's not wearing a beret. What was I saying? Dismantle. Oh, I was not. I actually was not invited here.
Well, Jenna let you in, and she must have seen something in you.
No, she didn't see me. That was the issue.
You're an interesting fellow, aren't you? All right, you seem to be a reasonable person. What do you suggest then? Don't speak in riddles. Lay it out.
I don't believe I've been speaking. I think I've been speaking very, very, quite frankly, crass.
Like I said, man, interesting person.
Quite frankly, I think that the Camarilla are flawed, but I think that a close offshoot would be the best option we have.
There is no close offshoot. The Ivory Tower keeps a lid on that stuff. They don't allow for deviation.
Then we get rid of the Ivory Tower, but not get rid of the base. We build a tower not of ivory, but of iron.
Okay, let's say I'm in, right? What's your plan? How do we make that happen? Because these are some lofty goals here that literally nobody in the history of all vampiredom has managed to make happen. So you're asking me what my plan is, whether I'm shackled to somebody else. What do you got?
Well, first of all, we need to know. We need information on everybody. We need to know how they move, where they move, and who they move with. Would you not say that that is an important aspect to any movement?
Okay.
Now, you don't have to tell me anything tonight. Or in the future. It is of your own free will. But, if there's something I can do to gain the goodwill of your benefactors, your supporters, I'd be willing to hear you out.
Look, I wouldn't expect you to understand. I get it, right? You're one of a kind. There's not many left of you. But you still, I mean, look at you. You can still walk around places like this freely and nobody scorns you. It's not like that for us. If we don't have each other's backs, nobody else does.
That is true, yes. But we all bear our crosses.
All right, look. And again, you sort of get the feeling that like this guy just really wants a friend, and you're the first person that's been able to stomach talking to him. I'll tell you this. Cameron's got a friend in the Nosferatu. But that's all I'm saying.
Understandable. You know, Mr. Squid, I just would like to reassure you that my stance is not to destroy.
It's about protecting our own, you know what I mean? Not everybody that wants to destroy is a threat, or rather, vice versa. You know what I mean.
You wish to protect your own, that's understandable. And it's quite noble. But at some point, instead of being so secular, I believe we all have to band together. Become something greater than just lone sex.
You asked me if I had questions for you before, now I've got about 100 more.
I have that effect on people.
Listen, if you actually have a way to do this, if you actually have enough backing to make something happen like what you're talking about, maybe let me know. Maybe I'm interested.
I'm sure you'll know where to find me then.
I don't even know who you are yet. I never even asked your name.
You did not?
Is that when you walk out, get up and walk away?
He'll be able to find me with the scent of his blood piss on my pants. My name is Falfir.
Okay, and how do I get a hold of you then?
Well, I'm sure you would be able to find me even if I went into hiding.
Let me ask you this. Do you want Squid as an ally in the future?
Yes.
Okay. Then I will key that in. I will add him as an additional protagonistic NPC for you.
Okay.
So I will assume you guys trade some sort of contact information. How do you think you would contact each other?
You give them
AOL Messenger. Nobody uses that anymore.
Is that still a thing?
It is.
Okay. Fuck it, why not?
when he messages you the first time, you're gonna go ASL.
AOL Messenger may as well be HunterNet.
Either that, or you could ask him to use IMVU.
Oh my god.
I don't know if that still exists.
I almost accidentally invited my English teacher to join IMVU because I signed up for it to talk to a girl in high school. And when you sign up, they make you like spam blast everybody on your email list.
Yeah.
So my English teacher got one, and I didn't know about it. I walked into school one day, and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry I couldn't accept that invite you sent me. I couldn't get it to work." She's like, "Oh, I didn't mean that." I just felt like super weird and awkward. Like, I just wanted to talk to one person right now. All right.
You're like, "I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm just trying to get some."
And it didn't even work. Actually, I don't think I ever logged into IMVU either. So at this point, you hear this tap come over the loudspeaker. and you see Preston sort of strolling off of his throne towards the cage with a microphone, and everybody starts cheering. And he starts working the crowd. How's everyone feeling tonight? Are we ready to dispense some justice? And then there's a woo! And there's he gestures the cage. These three over here are going to be the one to compete for a very fine prize this evening, but I'm going to leave that a surprise till the very end. Are we ready? Woo! Are you ready? And the vampires in the cage assent. Then don't let me stop you. Keep going till there's one left. Begin. And all of a sudden they rush for weapons. You just see discipline start going. The Nosferatu picks up the sword and hurls it. And it just takes the shaggy-looking dude fucking sideways. The muscle-bound dude becomes a blur as his celerity kicks and just starts wailing on the Nosferatu.
I'm gonna try starting a chant going, Killer Croc! Killer Croc!
Okay. Let's do charisma empathy, or manipulation empathy if you want.
Ooh boy.
I want to see rolls for all four of these combatants.
I'm going for the Nosferatu. I'm calling him Killer Croc, seeing if it sticks. One success. Yeah, it's a 2 out of 7. I got a 9.
So you try to get the chant going, and maybe 3 or 4 people pick it up, but it just kind of dies in the fervor and the cheers.
Oh, like the saddest attempt at a wave.
And inside the cage, just brutality. They start smashing each other. You're breaking each other apart. Nothing terribly visceral because they're vampires, right? So they're not maiming each other. But they're getting fucked up. There's blood and crunching bones and stuff that they're going to have to spend some serious blood points to mend. Just give me D10s. You can be the Nosferatu, you can be the Bruja, and I'll be the shaggy-looking gangrel dude.
10.
Yep. 2.
It's okay, I also did it too. Alright, so...
I don't even remember who I was.
It's okay. I believe you were the Bruja, but it doesn't matter. So, at the end of it, as the Bruja and the gangrel are little more than these ruddy streaks in the sand, the sodden Killer Croc looking Nosferatu sort of raises his muscular arms, and there's a raucous boom from the sides of the arena. And that female ghoul enters the cage one more time and begins wheeling the small dumpster towards the Nosferatu, and now a chant does start getting picked up, and it goes drink, 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 and as it rises in fervor and passion as the dumpster gets closer, and the woman unlocks the padlock and throws open the lid of the dumpster, and the Nosferatu reaches in and he pulls out 2 what look like human figures. And can I get perception alertness from both you guys? Standard 6.
Ooh, 1 success.
Standard 6. 3 successes.
3 successes. So you can see that even though they look like normal people and they're just kind of hanging there limp, they have these lengths of fence posts protruding from their chests.
A little dramatic.
And the Nosferatu just begins tearing into them with this arterial spray, and the crowd begins going wild.
I'm going to lean over to the person next to me. I'm like, where does he get these guys?
Who knows where he finds them, man. Preston's good at it.
I'm going to make my way back over to Preston.
Okay. And as he sees you approach, and he says, "What did I tell you, man? Primo prize or what? Dominate Malkavians. They're rare. Could have been yours."
I'm like, these are the guys you're talking about making trouble?
Fucking thin blood breeders. Some asshole and his child decided to start cutting into our hunting grounds without permission.
You know, I'm a pretty good locator of people myself. Bit of a specialty. You wouldn't happen to be in a hiring mood, would you?
Oh man, I knew I liked you. Well, put it to you this way. I tend to be of the mindset that should any of our August number here come across these parasites, it is open season. However, if you wanted to bring some back to me for the fight, maybe put together a pretty nice pot for the next one, I could see fit to reward you. What'd you have in mind?
What do I want?
I want a pony, and ice cream.
Well, you see, there's a thought in the back of John Lee Pettimore's head of that. Prefer to have you dead, kind of. Well, obviously, he's not going to say that.
I mean, the whole place is rigged with explosives. We can make that happen real fast. I just need you to close your eyes and count to 100 real fast.
I'd be like, well, a favor of equal value is always nice.
I know how business works. I'm asking what sort of equal value you had in mind.
Do anarchs use the term boon with each other?
Yeah, I mean, it's like common parlance,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Just because they're not the Camarilla doesn't mean that's not still how their society works.
I'll say, well, when things start to settle down more in our people's favor, I wouldn't mind calling upon a bit of a boon when it comes to some of the say-so around these parts. Just to get rid of I'm sure the fun will keep happening here, but it'll be a fun of our own generation rather than, you know, having to whip the whelps around so much.
You want to say so? So what you're asking for domain?
Well, like I
Barons
said,
don't tend to share say so, if you will. But
well, yeah, like I said, I just want to mind my own business and a bit of territory wouldn't be a bad thing. I really don't care what he's offering. I'm more trying to find out who these people making Thin Bloods are so I can go find them myself.
tell you what, you asked me for a job, I might have one. I don't have an official sweeper yet. What do you say?
That sounds like my kind of work.
All right, so I'll try and put together some perks for you. What do you need? Herd, you got access to a herd. Talk to me.
I'll basically say herd flunkies in my own hunting grounds.
Well, flunkies is the hard one. I don't like to tell people what to do, but if people like you well enough, you had a chance to make some friends tonight, and you see people just cheering on as the two vampires in the Nosferatu's grip are reduced to greasy ash. But people decide to follow you, that's on them. Hunting ground, I can do that. Herd, I can do a herd. I don't know if I have the resources yet to get you your own, but I can supply blood. Do you need it flavored with anything?
Moonshine's preferable, but I'm not a man of particular taste.
Moonshine, I might have guessed. All right, I'll get you some special moonshine. Have it ready for you tomorrow. How's that sound?
Sounds mighty fine.
Okay. And he'll sort of extend the hand. Sweeper it is. So sweeper is an anarch term.
Yeah.
At least I could be Camarilla, but I'm pretty sure it's the anarch sweeper is literally your job is to go around and like take out Thin Bloods. It's just to fucking maintain order. Or you're also the guy. How far did you ever beat Bloodlines?
No.
Okay. Did you make it to the fucking Toreador Baron? I forget what his name was. Isaac Abrams?
Yes.
Okay. When you get to Hollywood, the guy that goes up to you and says, "Hey, go talk to the Baron," that's a sweeper.
Okay.
So that's effectively your job now. And he's willing to make it worth your while. So with that, the fight is currently over, and now it's kind of devolved into just basic socializing. What more do you guys want from this scene?
I mostly just want him to tell me where the Thin Bloods are coming from and if he knows who's making them.
Oh, that's the thing. I don't know.
Or where is there like an area they're mostly congregating from or coming out of?
No. So it's an anarch territory.
Yeah.
And it's not that St. Louis is an anarch territory. Yeah. It's that there's nobody enforcing the rules. So you get a bunch of anarchs that don't have to ask permission to embrace, and they go nuts and they embrace their girlfriend or they embrace, their cousin or fucking whatever, or just somebody down the street is a fucking joke. Ruha do it all the time. So that's kind of what's happening. Is that it's not from any one place. It's not a conspiracy. It's just it's happening a lot because there's nobody to enforce some kind of control.
Okay, I was going to ask him where he found these then.
He'll say Dogtown.
Dogtown? Okay.
Dogtown's a neighborhood in St. Louis. You okay?
Just Tom knows I'm going to have to go looking for the Lords of Dogtown now.
I figured that was a reference, but I wasn't sure.
I'm assuming not the same Dogtown as the movie, but...
It's also a place in Night City.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
What is it, Night City?
It must be a general kind of city kind of name then.
It's the most lawless part of Night City.
Are you looking up what a Dogtown is?
No, I'm looking up St. Louis Dogtown specifically in case I have to describe it. This looks nice.
Okay, you can show me a picture.
It's a traditionally Irish section of St. Louis, Missouri. It's located south of Forest Park, with its southeastern edge abutting the traditionally.
Those pictures don't look particularly worn down, but this is the World of Darkness version of St. Louis.
Abutting the traditionally Italian section of town, the Hill neighborhood. The neighborhood is anchored by St. James the Greater Catholic Church. It looks like a nice part of town, though. They seem to have festivities.
Well, once things start dying down, I'm going to ask them if this is where I can usually find them.
Preston?
Yeah.
I only use this for the fights. I guess if you're going to work for me, we need to be in contact. What's the best way for you? Do you even own a cell phone?
I have a burner phone.
All right.
I am pretty adept at electronics.
Okay, then I say you will swap burner numbers, because the anarchs will also frequently use burners, and he's got to contact people every once in a while. So I will append Preston as an ally to you. Now I know you probably don't think of him that way, but he thinks of you as an ally.
We'll see how that turns out within the next 10 minutes.
Actually, I've got some pretty delicious ideas for how that could go, but we'll see indeed.
I'm going to basically bid him adieu and be like, well, I'm going to go ahead and get a head start, and that's still young.
Festivities are about over anyway, but good hunting. Tom, what about you? What would you like to do?
Well, I think I said everything. Should have said to
El Squid?
El Squido. And quite frankly, this farce is beneath me.
Are you going to head out?
Yeah.
It's probably a good call.
On my way out, I'll try to advise Miss Jenna on how to, better keep an eye out for things.
She says, yeah, look, when something bad happens here, then we'll start worrying, okay?
Well, that could happen anytime. You should be aware of that.
At that moment, Jenna. No, on my way out, I'm going to look to see. This is a pretty... Is there like a lot of graffiti on the walls here?
On the inside?
Yeah.
Probably, given that it's an anarch hangout.
As I'm walking out, I'm going to filch a can of spray paint.
Okay. Deal. So the two of you leave, and it seems like you leave at about the same time, more or less. So I will say, for expediency, you can run into each other in the parking lot if you wish.
Do you have anything to say to me?
I hope you enjoyed your time.
I learned quite a bit. Happy hunting.
hunting.
And once he's out of eyesight, I'm gonna take a hunting knife out of my jacket. I'm gonna start puncturing people's gas tanks.
Okay. Okay, well, we did say that Jenna's not particularly paying attention, so...
You want me to another stealth roll?
Yeah, Dex Stealth, Div 4.
Five.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually got 3. I thought there was a chance that she might actually pull her head out of her ass for a second. But yeah, no problem. So, like I said, they're kind of scattered and they're parked in different parking lots.
I'm gonna go for the ones that are that are the closest to each other. Just gonna go up. If I have to like squeeze under, go under and puncture the gas tank.
Yeah, no problem. Like, she doesn't even like glance in your direction once. And there's still chattering and stuff coming from the inside. Roll percentiles with me. High or low?
44.
44. Okay, so after a while you see the shutter roll up and these 2 vampires come walking out. The ones that you saw, or the ones that he saw enter earlier. And they exchange some sort of pleasantries with Jenna that you can't quite hear. And they begin moving in the direction of the cars whose gas tanks are currently punctured.
I guess it's starting sooner than I wanted it to. I'm doing the...
So you're going to just blow the whole place?
Yeah.
Alright. How far do you think you've made it?
It's going to take a while to...
Yeah, but I think he's also on foot. Like, aren't you?
Yeah. I don't know, maybe like...
Do you walk fast?
No, faster than an average person. Think maybe like... What? Maybe 100 yards out?
Okay. So from 100 yards out, in the darkness of this industrial park, in the wan yellow light coming down intermittently from the broken streetlights, there is this brilliant yellow flash. As you see just these flames race up into the night sky, and a sound like the pillars of heaven being rent asunder as this entire fucking warehouse comes tumbling in on one another, and there's these amalgamated shrieks, and then you hear as the other fucking bombs detonate, the other C4s.
Yeah. As soon as I see people running or trying to get out is when the second rounds go off.
Alright, go ahead and exile my newly found ally.
Hang on.
Well, I guess I'm running back. I
So-
do not have celerity.
So I'll say the 2 exiting are close enough that they kind of get thrown by the blast, as does Jenna, but they don't notice you because they're not even fucking looking in your direction at this point. They're looking at the fucking
super
flame.
think it was me.
I imagine the whole time I'm puncturing these gas tanks, I probably had a lit cigarette in my mouth. And as I get a safe distance away, I flick it at the puddles of gas that are starting to pull up.
Boom! Just the fucking 3 cars in the parking lot just randomly erupt.
And then I'm going to go up to the gate of the warehouse where is there anything that's like a big sign like warning, stay out kind of stuff?
Like no trespassing or something?
Yeah, I'm looking for like a big sign that like sometimes businesses will put up on the outside.
Hold on. First, Jenna and the 2 vampires immediately fucking frenzy and just run, hauling ass Rob-Shrek style, into the darkness. Sure, yeah, there's a huge fucking like metal no trespassing sign if you want. You're currently the only one that you can see in the parking lot.
I'm going to take out the can of spray paint I took. I'm going to put warning scheduled for demolition.
Oh man, that's super smart. I have such ideas. I have such ideas to do with it. Man, so you come running back, and you're probably the only sentient person like in the parking lot to see him spray paint.
I'll keep that in my back pocket.
Okay. So this place goes up, and so these are vampires. They're not immediately going to go down right away. So from the rubble, you do see. You've never played Blood. Have you played Blood?
Blood. Oh, you.
The boomer shooter.
Oh no.
Okay.
I have memories of playing it, but I don't ever remember playing it.
It's a fun game. We'll have to sit down to it. So just sort of like Blood style, just people on fire screaming into the darkness. A couple of them just topple and like burn to ash.
I'm gonna try to, fight the Roshrik fear and try to help.
Okay. So there is specifically a rule for that in the rule book. In order to do something that is like specifically like vampire or dangerous like that, you do have to spend a willpower for it.
Okay.
Okay, so you're spending the willpower?
Yeah.
Then no problem, don't worry about it.
Okay.
So you charge towards the flames. You see him charging towards the flames. What do you actually want to do? Because right now there's like fire and rubble everywhere, and you see some people are like pulling themselves out, and they are like burned to blackened ash down different like streaks of their bodies. Like this is causing like serious ag damage.
I'm just trying to move rubble so that there's something of an opening.
Okay. Done deal.
Is there a fire hydrant nearby?
Sure.
I'm gonna go up to and basically try to break one of the, make it look like I'm trying to help people get off of fire.
Okay. So you like no problem. You can just rip that open with your gangrel claws.
I'll be like, over here.
Can I use command on people to try to get them to funnel them towards the hydrant?
Theoretically, it's not impossible. I think you need like it's going to be hard to catch their line of sight. Plus, they also have to like comprehend what you're saying to them as they're burning alive. So, I got an idea. So, you see this huge slab of rock getting thrown one side as Preston drags himself out of the rubble. Face marred completely black on one side, empty eye socket. And he runs past you. He goes charging to the fire hydrant. He basically just shoves his face into the stream, and as he comes up, he says, "I don't believe it. I don't fucking believe it. How did they find us here?"
How close to being completely dead does he look?
He's taken several levels of egg.
Like, would it be a quick to kill him?
If you hit him hard enough.
Is anybody watching right now?
They're kind of distracted.
I'm like, who could have done this?
The hunters, man, the fucking hunters, Society of Leopold. They had this place raped and I didn't even know about it.
I'm gonna do a quick perception to see if anybody's watching.
Are you watching?
I think I'm distracted.
Okay. I'm going to say that because I want him to survive, you do find Squid in the rubble, and he has taken serious burns, and he looks like he's fairly mangled. Nothing a vampire can't fix, but he's going to need blood. And you sort of like pull him almost half disoriented out of the rubble. What do you do?
He needs blood.
Well, at some point, yes, he's going to need blood to fix it. Doesn't need it. I mean, vampires use blood to heal their wounds. I know you know. I don't know how to articulate what I need to say. Is anybody watching? He's busy. Squid is just gotten pulled out of a burning building. I'm going to say no. You're pretty good.
I'm basically gonna stab him in the back of the heart.
Okay.
And I'm gonna get real close to him like I'm trying to help him. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but things really got to be different this time.
All right. I would like Dex melee, diff 4 for the surprise attack, and I don't think he has any fortitude. Vampires do soak lethal with stamina.
Ooh. 3 successes. No, that's wrong. No successes.
You got 0?
Mm-hmm.
This is interesting. This is interesting. So how do you think no successes works? Like
I hit him and it just, whatever I hit probably crumbles.
You just to ash.
In which case I'm going to probably go in for a quick bite if he's not able to pull himself away right away.
So he feels the knife strike something that just kind of gives. And he looks at you like enraged and betrayed, and I'm going to ask for initiative rolls. So
What's initiative again?
It's 1 die plus your dots and dex and wit.
I get a 7.
How far down is he the initiative track? Or the health track?
Significantly. Yeah, he doesn't have much left. So 8 total for Tom?
7.
Okay.
13.
Okay. Then you move first. But you can see, or maybe even the beast within you can sense his vitae kick.
Yeah.
He's immediately burning blood for discipline. So you get your action first.
At least I got fortitude. I'm basically full-blown ripping his throat out so he can't scream. With my full fangs out, ripping his throat out, kind of.
Okay, I believe that's a strength brawl.
I have a gun on me, but I don't want to just blow his brains out because that's going to call attention to me.
Oh yeah, because the huge explosion is not
Well,
going to
that's
cause.
true. How much noise is there?
There's screaming and the crackling of flames.
Do I think I could get a gunshot away?
No.
Probably.
Unless you
Yeah.
have more explosives going off.
Okay.
No. Guns are very, very loud.
I thankfully have had headphones. I've had ear protection every time I've fired one.
I haven't.
So you know how loud it gets.
Yes.
So I think a combat bite against this guy is going to be strength brawl, diff 8 that deals ag. If my memory of the combat maneuvers is a little spotty, but that's what I'm going to call for.
Diff 8?
Yeah,
I got 1 success.
that's enough. All right, so roll strength. Let me see if he can abort his first action to dodge.
Abort the action. Abort the dodge.
3.
Abort the babies.
Hold on. I managed to dodge the bite by 1 success.
Oh.
I had 7 dice. I rolled a 9, an 8, and a 1. So he is able to pull away because he aborts to dodge. He loses his action, but he's on his feet, and you can see he's got celerity going. So he's got a couple extra actions. Tom, it is your turn.
I'm going to give Squib some of my blood.
Ooh. Okay. All right. How much are you gonna give him?
How much does it look like he might need?
I mean, it's kind of an X factor right now while he mends his wounds. He's taken some ag. Ag, I think, is like 5 dots of blood. So, I mean, you don't have, but he does have blood within him that he's going to have to burn. So, it's not that he's in critical condition at the moment, just he is going to need blood in order to fix what is wrong with him. But if you do, because...
It's a quick way to make a friend.
Well, yeah, because you're blood bonding.
Yeah, I'm aware.
But is he?
Oh, does he know about blood bonding?
He might not. A lot of young anarchs really don't have the schooling to know about blood bonding.
I remember it's like degrees. Like 1 dot, they like you. 2 dots, they feel compelled to help you. And 3 dots, they're like fully blood.
Yeah, yeah, that's how it works. So you can get a 1 dot coerced best friend if you want right now.
I'll do 2 dots.
Okay. All right, so he's so fucking out of it. He whether he knows or not, who knows? He doesn't even resist. As you assume, I put your wrist to him and allow him to drink 2 dots. So please remove 2 dots from your sheet. And Squid is going to begin burning blood to begin fixing himself. Oh, nice. Squid did okay.
Turns out he didn't need that blood at all.
Now he'd taken some ag. All
As
right.
he does like the turn of events things are taking. And I personally don't.
All right. So, Big Mean Bruja Man has 4 celerity actions.
Oh dear.
And he's going to punch you with them. So here goes the first one.
Well, that's only bashing damage.
It's only bashing damage, and he's down the track.
Man, rolling a lot of 1s tonight. All right, so that's going to be 3 successes. So that's his strength plus 2, and then plus his potence. Oh yeah, he is down the track. I forgot. I'm actually gonna re-roll that.
Is he crippled?
Let me see your track. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's at wounded right now, so he's taken 4 levels of ag. So he's at a -2. First punch. 4 successes. Alright, so extra successes, plus his strength, plus his potence. Oof. It's okay, I got some 1s. That does nothing, that does nothing, that does nothing. So that's 5 bashing, which halves to 2. And roll to soak.
Oh, and I have fortitude. I'm re-customizing myself with this system. So I just roll fortitude plus my, I roll stamina plus fortitude, right?
Yes.
Difficulty 6?
Yeah.
5.
Okay, yeah, doesn't even hurt. Second punch. Completely botches. So he stumbles over his own twisted leg. And I'll give you an opening for a counterattack with a botch. Go for it.
Okay. I'm still trying to bite his neck out. But once it's fully my turn again, I'm gonna basically pull out my gun and have to pop him in the back of the head 10 this quickly. Strength plus brawl, right?
Oh yes.
5. 1, 2 successes.
Okay, and I cannot dodge this time, so you're going to roll your strength plus your bonus success of 1 as aggravated damage. And he does not have fortitude. So
Do ones negate for damage?
yes,
Okay, then I got nothing.
nothing. All right, so you chomp into him and just come away with a fistful or mouthful of ash. Punch number 3. One plus strength of 4 plus potence of 3. A lot of 1s tonight. A whole bunch of 1s. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 halves to 2 again.
I hate that the numbers are fading on these. 1, 2, 3. 3 successes.
Nothing.
They used to be such a nice bright gold.
It happens. They're well loved. I mean, you've been using those dice for what?
Since we started playing VTM, this was the first set of D10s they bought.
Yeah, so at least 10 years.
Don't say it like that. No.
And the second one, he's only got 1, 2. So 1 success, strength of 4, potence of 3. 1, 2, 3, 4 halves to 2.
3, 4 successes.
Alright, so he's beating the shit out of you, but like worn down as he is, he's really not doing much. Alright, initiatives again.
14.
Tom?
13.
Alright, you're up, Josh.
Pulling out my high caliber handgun and I'm shooting him in the head.
Okay, so targeting the head is a diff 8.
I'm going to spend a willpower.
I don't know if you can spend willpower on attacks.
Okay.
Read the screen.
Again, it's a common reference. Not all of the rules are there.
Unfortunately, this is a handgun and not my specialty in assault rifles. And I'm not quite at buyer cash levels of shooting people. What is it, plus firearms?
Dex firearms.
Dex
and
firearms?
V20.
Okay. For some reason, I thought it was one of the mental ones. That cancels out.
Remember, 10s cancel your 1. That's the
Yeah.
house rule that we play with.
4.
4. Okay. So it's going to be 3 plus the damage of your handgun. I have high caliber, I think it's 5.
No, no. Yes. Is that a 6? Cancelled out by the 10. 5 successes.
5 successes. I soak 3, so you shoot him in the head, and he goes down to 1 above terminal. So he's completely crippled. Oh, hey, it's the combat maneuvers.
What did I say?
Oh, I was going to say, did anything different happen for shooting him in the head?
It becomes lethal. So he doesn't have, which is why he takes 2 levels of damage. Let me see. I'm trying to see if there's the frenzy rules on here. Oh yeah, frenzy difficulties. Outright public humiliation, maybe. Probably. Life-threatening situation, diff 4.
See about the frenzy.
We're gonna find out. Oh yeah, he's gone. So he is. Well, hang on. Tom, it is your turn, and as he imbibes the 2 droplets of your blood, Squid. What happened? Was it Leopold? Oh man, it was Leopold. The hunters got this place, man. They fucking found us. I don't know how they found us, but they found us.
Calm down. Let's not jump to any conclusions. We don't know what happened.
Who else would have this?
The cojones.
You know anybody else that packs this much explosives?
Tangentially, but that's neither here nor there. What's important now is to try to get as many people to survive it as possible. Will you assist me?
Yeah, of course I have to. And he's going to spend his willpower, and he's going to start digging through the planks, or not the planks, the rubble. Preston frenzies, and I'm going to say that for this particular frenzy, since he hasn't done any fucking damage to you, he's just going to turn tail and try to run. So whole ass celerity, and I do believe that when you frenzy, you ignore the minuses. So he's just going to into the darkness.
You fucked.
I still got my eyes and I'm tracking him as much as I can.
Okay. Perception, alertness, difficulty 8.
Can I willpower this one?
You can, but it's an opposed roll,
Okay.
so it may not avail you.
I'm still gonna do it anyway, because I need to pop him in the back of the head one more time. Difficulty 8.
6. Oh, yes.
2 successes.
2 successes. He's gone. You lost him in the shadows somewhere. And now I will move Preston down to antagonist. Oh man, that is super interesting.
That turned around real fast. Man, he was your fucking best friend.
For a whole 10 minutes.
Will of Darkness.
Oh man, I wonder what's going to happen with that. That's exciting. That is a sweet meat. All right, so what happens now? You see him and his Nosferatu friend, like upending rubble and trying to drag other anarchs out.
I'm going to start helping, and I'm going to wait for like a significant amount of people to be saved to say something.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to spend the willpower as well.
Okay.
So you're going into like the fire and the flames. Okay. What do you consider a significant amount of people?
Say around like 20.
Okay. I'm going
30.
I'm going to say Killer Croc survives. The Nosferatu in the rags seems to have escaped. You pull a couple people out of the fire, most of them just frenzy and run away. Some of them frenzy and try to attack and just kind of toss them aside and they scamper. But sure, over the course of the night, you're fairly certain at least 20 people have made it out.
So, this is a situation which I imagine like back in Vietnam, trying to frag an officer, and the officer turns out not to be dead. Ooh boy, gonna have to do something real quick. As I say, this is what happens when we act like animals. I'm like, they find us, and they kill us like rats in a fucking cage. We have to be better than this.
Oh god, that's really good. All right, manipulation, empathy.
Can I spend one more willpower?
You may spend one more willpower. Yes.
I need to remember what my fucking nature survivor demeanor rebel. Nope, just 1 success.
Okay, the willpower success, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of them aren't listening to your bullshit right now because they almost died, but a lot of them almost died. So you sort of catch Squid's eye. You catch some of the other anarchs.
So thankfully, he doesn't know I was the one that set off the bombs. Hopefully he just thinks I was taking advantage of a terrible situation.
Yeah, no, he thinks it was hunters. Like that seems to be the underlying narrative is when shit blows up and there's lots of fire, it's probably hunters. But yeah, he thinks that you tried to like oust him when he was at his lowest. Oh man, I was actually hoping that you would kill him. I did not expect him to get away like that. I know.
I should have shot him a lot faster. I was just worried about people seeing me trying to execute him.
I love it when the story does that, when it does things I don't expect.
You just created your villain.
I know. My plan was to topple anybody I thought was going to be a negative impact on our attempts to reestablish society. I don't know how you feel about me blowing this place up, or if you currently think I did that.
Well, it's mightily suspicious that you were...
Spray painting the walls?
Yeah, saying... What was it?
Scheduled for demolition.
Yeah, it was like... That is... quite the coinky-dink.
So I'm going to say, after a little while, you do begin to hear the sirens of the fire department arriving to control the blaze.
No, I immediately throw my phone in the fire.
Burner, gone. Alright.
Don't want him tracking me down with that since I gave him the phone number.
Literal burner.
Hey, yeah, I'm gonna ask Tom and Squid if they need a ride.
Sure.
Squid kind of looks back at the burning rubble. I've got nowhere else to be.
You just burnt those ghouls.
Oh, they're dead. They're gone.
They were probably super innocent.
Yeah, but they were groupies for a total asshole. But what percentage of these people do you think I wiped?
Oh,
could I get that from just my casual observation as people were running out of the building and how many people I saw in there?
At least 50%, at least. Probably closer to like 60 or 70. Like, you didn't see most of the people in there get out, I'll tell you that. Now, it's entirely possible some of them got out without you seeing them. It's entirely possible you don't know who was on fire when they got out, but a significant chunk of Preston's supporters just literally went up in smoke. Now, my question to you is, how does it make you feel?
I don't like having to kill my fellow vampires, but the sort of people that follow Preston and are going to go along with this bullshit without thinking for themselves are the sort of people I probably think are going to create more problems for vampire society than they're going to solve.
Do you feel as though that's worth a humanity roll?
I probably don't like it, but I would say it's necessary. If you think it's a humanity roll, I'm ready.
Okay, so you're just going to roll your conscience conviction rating, and let's see. Intentional property damage, that's a 5. Let's see. Or is that a difficult? I think it's just a standard 8, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm calling this the Murphy-Fierro rule. 10s do not negate 1s on this one because it let Bob get out of a ton of heinous shit. I don't feel bad.
You're too high.
So 3, I roll conviction at a diff 8.
Do you have conviction?
No, I mean conscience. Yeah. I got 1.
Really? That's a 3.
No, you're right. That's a 3. 3, 5, and a 6.
Okay. Then you have lost a point of humanity. And what is the emotional... Take me to the emotions as you, 1, grow closer to your beast, but 2, are slowly becoming more callous to this sort of destruction.
Very simple, Chaz. I have to survive, and these people are in the way.
Is that how you rationalize it?
Mm-hmm.
Gain a point of willpower. Okay, so with that, I'm probably going to call the session there. Really cool stuff happened, a lot of stuff I didn't expect, and that's kind of what I was hoping with this chronicle. I didn't want to know where it was going. So, I'm having a great night. I'm going to say 4 XP for everybody. You guys know the drill. Start voting.
I can only vote for Tom without voting for myself.
Well, I mean,
That is true.
that's what we call self-imposed restriction.
I vote for Adam for not sucking any penises.
Once again, you can't reward somebody for doing the thing they're supposed to do.
I know. That's the point. No, I will vote for Josh for making his own supervillain.
I vote for Tom for making friends with the sad Nosferatu with social anxiety, even though he peed himself.
Despite Tom's really good conversation about freedom, vote Josh for explosions.
That's fair. I respect that.
Blix, do you have a vote, friend? Also, am I? I'm not sure if you're still there. So, let me ask this while we're waiting for votes to come in. What are your goals for next session so I can plan a little bit better?
It's probably going to be hard to find, but I'm going to try to finish executing Preston.
You have to cover your fucking ass.
Oh, yeah.
My goals.
Josh's betrayal and that solid interaction between Squid and Tom. It wasn't a betrayal, Blix. He's a threat to my survival.
It was kind of a betrayal.
He sees it as a betrayal.
That is
I
true.
plan
You were
on
never-
killing him the whole time.
You were never. I was never truly on your side.
Ooh, choosing Tom, so that's 1 and 1. Tom, what are your goals for next session?
I need to amass more allies, no matter how big or small they are.
Me too.
Very different reason.
At first, I was hoping I could lone wolf it a little bit, but now I'm afraid I'm going to have a lot of people coming after my head. Thankfully, I have a small artillery with me.
Well, you also took out like 60-70% of the opposition.
And hopefully I scared enough of them into thinking that hanging out with Preston equals hunters.
A significant probability.
I think for next session, I'm going to try to get in cozy with Squid's support.
His coterie?
Yeah.
So, I will tell you that he was talking about the Nosferatu.
Yeah.
Like, they're trying to like, what's the word? Like link arms and protect each other. That's going to be hard for a non-Nosferatu. So, do you have a particular plan?
Well, one, he really likes me now. And
Yeah.
two, I'm hoping, showing an altruist side, saving people's lives. Maybe, paints me as a good guy.
Really? I kind of helped you out.
A very Murphy Fierro thing to say.
I promise I'm not trying to be this Chronicles Murphy Fierro.
Oh no, but I don't think anyone accused you of that.
I won't be shoving any crack into cats' butts.
There was a gerbil, and there was heroin.
No, it was a cat too.
There was more than one instance of that.
So Josh, where are you taking Faulkner and Squid?
I'm basically going to ask them where they want me to drop them off, and then.
I'm not telling you where my haven is.
Oh, I wasn't going to take you to your haven. I'm asking where you want to get dropped off.
Place with plenty of witnesses.
Okay, fantastic. So it looks like we have a deadlock in the vote. So,
yeah.
You guys both get it because I have the power to do that now.
Then I am at 9 XP.
Anything you guys want to buy?
I might need a second dot in animalism.
At what point can you just burrow in the ground and hide?
Like at 4.
Isn't that
No,
Protean
3.
3?
Yeah, that's Protean 3. Do I want feral claws? What I really want is...
Tell me what you want.
I think I do need Protean for what I want
I'll
to
tell
do.
you what I want, what I really, really want.
Yeah. Protean 4 is when you can just start turning parts of your body into animal parts, right?
I believe so. I don't actually remember. I think Protean 4
Yeah, that shape
was
of beast.
yeah. It was like like your wolf form, and then
Oof.
I think what I probably need is Auspex.
Everybody needs Auspex.
I want to be able to increase my ability to smell. Because in order to go up, what is it? In order to go up a discipline, it's if it's in clan, it's times current dot times 8, right?
no, it's current dot times 5 if it's in clans, current dot times 7 if it's out
okay.
of clan.
Yeah.
It's current dot times 6 if you're Kaitif. But do remember, if it's a brand new discipline, you do need a teacher.
Yeah. Well, I got all 3 dots in my basic disciplines. That's why I was trying to see what I could maybe go up in one, whether I want animalism or protean, or probably fortitude. When somebody inevitably tries to shoot me now.
Well,
you gave the flaw?
Do what now?
Oh, do I have the enemy flaw now?
Interesting. I would have to. We'll have the book right here, I guess. I'd have to look it
Which
up.
could grow into progressionary psych member. Hello, Bailey.
Hey, Bobby. You pretty girl. You pretty.
I'm gonna spend 5 to get beckoning. Animalism 2.
Alright, what about you, Tom? Are you buying anything?
No.
Okay.
And what is it to get a new dot in a talent? Is it 3?
I think it's 3. That sounds right.
I'm going to get 1 dot of empathy.
For all the people, I explode.
It's more like I need to get better at communicating with people, and clearly I'm sorry. I learned that today by having 2 instances where I had to roll empathy and I whiffed.
All right, no problem.
Whiffed it.
So, most important question of the night. Did you guys enjoy yourselves?
I did. Things didn't go quite according to plan, but I had a lot of fun.
No.
It's always fun when things go boom.
Glad to hear it. I hope you guys had fun too. I'm going to go ahead and end stream there. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for being here. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. I'm doing my best to get this shit up on YouTube, I promise. In the meantime, thank you all. You have a great night, and we appreciate you.
Good night, everyone.